I'm Brad Upson. I'm going to act as chairman tonight because our illustrious chairman is tied up on something else. This being a place, date, and time, I'm going to call to order the September 11th, 2023 regular meeting of the Irondequoit Zoning Board of Appeals. Please stand and join me with the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Before we begin the hearings, there's some housekeeping things that I need to go over for you. Fire exits are located to your left, out that door. If there's any event of a fire, you'll be notified. If so notified, please move in a calm and orderly fashion to the exits, and then you can exit the building either to the north or the south through the stairways out in the hallway. Do not use the elevators if there's a fire. Our meeting is recorded by our secretary for the purposes of record and minutes. Anyone addressing the board at the podium should identify themselves clearly, stating their name and address. The board will follow the items as they appear on the agenda. Extra copies of the agenda are available over on the table if anybody needs one. After the hearing's been called, the applicant or their representative shall come to the podium, state their name, address, and affiliation. They will then be asked to raise their right hand and be sworn. After swearing in, they may present their application to the board. Zoning board members, after the applicant makes their presentation, zoning board members will have the opportunity to question the applicant. All responses, both from the applicant and anybody from the public, are to be addressed directly to the board. Anyone wishing to speak to the board regarding the application being heard will be asked to come to the podium, identify themselves, again, their name and their address. There'll be three categories of people, speakers that we'll ask for. Those who are in favor of the application, those who are opposed to the application, and anyone who wants to talk to the board about the application subject matter. We don't want to get sidetracked onto things that are not related to the applications before us. Once all the public input's been completed, the applicant or their representative will be given an opportunity to respond to the comments if they desire to. Once that is completed, the hearings will be closed and the next case will be called. After all the hearings have been heard, the board will take a short recess. After we return, we'll deliberate each case in the order of the applicants who are still present. We'll just go down in the order of the agenda. Any applicant that's not here we'll skip over so that those of you who stay can get out of here sooner. Everybody is welcome to stay and listen to deliberations after the hearings. There will be no further public input unless specifically requested by the board. If you wish to leave, you can find out about the results of results of our deliberations by calling the Planning and Zoning Office tomorrow after 9 a.m. You can watch the results on Spectrum Channel, I think it's 1301 or 1303? 1303. Or you can visit Town Hall, the Town of Irondequoit website, and the information will be there in a couple of days. I do want to say, for those who may be here to deliberation about 41 Colebrook Drive, the former St. Thomas School, please note that the applicant has requested to postpone that to the October meeting, so there will be no discussion relating to that case. Given all that, Madam Secretary, will you call the first case?
I sure can. Case number 1, case number ZB 2023-07-02, a request by Bert and Mary Beth Patton for an area variance to install side yard fencing exceeding maximum permitted height on premises 46 Westgate Drive in an R1 residential district.
Is the applicant here?
Hello, I'm Bart Patton. It's not Bert, it's Bart. It's okay. It was the last 3 months, it's been the same.
Your address?
46 Westgate Drive.
Okay, would you raise your right hand, please? You swear that everything you say will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir, I do.
Thank you. You may proceed.
Okay, this is my second time here. I see Mr. Hinman is not here tonight. He came out to my home and we had a long conversation. So I'm asking now, are you aware of the conversation that we had before I proceed? Because unless he shared it with you, he made an offer. I don't know how to say, he made an offer. He made a suggestion to me that we both agreed upon, and he said he would take it to you for further when we have this meeting. But I notice he's not here tonight. So I'm kind of wondering, should I proceed without him here? I don't want to lose this because it was under my impression the last time we met that what I wanted to do, he didn't agree with, and I don't know what you guys did. And he said if I move my side yard fence approximately 9 feet back from where the existing fence is, he would be okay with that. He said he would be okay. He didn't say that the board would be okay, but he said it was something that he could live with based on a Winona Drive situation that you had months ago, I guess. So do I proceed or do I not proceed without him here? Because this is terrible for me, actually, because I came all the way here and he's not here. So I don't know what the board knows. So I'm asking your opinion, and please help me.
Well, I can tell you, he didn't talk to me about it, so I'm not familiar with it. I don't know if.
I know he mentioned that he went to your
Yes.
residence.
Yes, he
And
met
it's
with
like
me and,
taking that corner
yes,
off the, the patio or whatever, and go straight across instead of on the angle straight down.
right, it would be
Remember?
approximately on the north side of the lot there. Should I bring this up and show us, or are you good?
Well, I got a picture here, but if you
All right.
want to come
Well,
up
yeah,
with
because
this-
we drew on this one, and, all right, so I just want to make sure that we have the same idea of what we're doing. It was this point, it was this here,
go straight down this way, right?
right. It would go this way, it would come in about exactly 9 feet from where it is now.
From the corner, 9
Yes,
feet
it
in
would
this
come
way.
in 9 feet, we'd go from there, it would come right over to 9 feet.
Okay,
Approximately 9 feet. I did measure it, I think it's like 8 point something.
Okay.
But I'm gonna call it 9 feet, because.
I remember he said something about it, but then again, your case got moved, so.
Right, 'cause
We didn't have a lot of discussion, so. You guys want to see what he's got?
Yeah,
Should I bring it over there, show
Yeah.
them?
yeah, please.
Okay, this is, he's
How does it
claiming,
change the request? What does that make
he was
it?
claiming that this is my
How
side.
does it change the request?
My
Well, what it is
contention was because the
the
back
height,
of the lot,
but
my
that was
side
also
yard,
because
off this back lot.
Oh, as an,
that
as
was
an
going too
obstruction?
close to the corner, so it's going to be
Okay.
like 9
He
feet.
said what he would be willing to do is we
Something
took
like that.
this fence
Oh,
down.
okay, so
and
the same
moved
request
the
is
fence
just
from
the
here
short length of
Because the lady was here, Jim made it.
It's about 9 feet. Yes, because there's
They
a
got
pole
canceled
there.
because he asked anybody who.
And I said, well, it would be better to hook up to
Oh,
that
okay,
part of the fence. We were just gonna put a 6-foot fence in here.
And you said he's okay with that?
He-
And you're okay with it?
Well, no, I'm not okay with it, because
Oh.
I think, there's an existing fence there that he said doesn't count.
Oh.
'Cause- And I'm not gonna get, if that makes the board happy,
Well, that's what I mean, you'll accept it
yes,
that way.
I would, yes, we
Okay.
decided that that would be something that we could live with, but without him here, I know there's only 4 of you.
You gotta go back to the podium.
Sorry, everyone. Okay, so I mean, I know there's only 4 of you here, so I know if one dissents, it doesn't go through, so that's why I'm asking. Because without him here, I don't know validating what I'm telling you, I could,
Well, if you want to table it until,
I'd rather not table it another month.
Okay, I mean, it's been back here once already, twice already,
Yes.
so.
I just have a quick question.
Yes, sir.
So that deck there,
It's a small,
it's like a breezeway or like
Patio.
Yeah. Do you have a back door on that? Like, is there a back door? I didn't like want to walk all over your property. I know we can, but I didn't want to do that. So I figured I'd just ask you. So, and maybe you can come up and I can further explain it. But I was just wondering if there was a back door. I didn't think there was, but right here. Do you have access to there?
There is a door.
To the side?
Yeah, there's a door to the side here,
But
off
you-
of the garage.
Okay, but you don't have one here, correct?
No, I do
Okay.
not have one there.
All right.
You want to go ahead and proceed then?
Then you're looking at a 6-foot white vinyl fence.
It's 6-foot fence, yes.
Was it gonna be white vinyl?
It was gonna be white vinyl, but it might become wood now because of the expense of moving it and what they want us to do. So,
Okay.
Can we proceed?
Yeah, I'm okay.
All right, we'll proceed with it then. And
sure.
is there anyone anyone from the public who wants to speak in, well, are you done with your presentation?
Yes, sir.
You are set? Okay. Is there anyone from the public who wants to speak in favor? Please come to the podium, state your name and address.
Sorry, Jim.
My name's Jay Rickard. I live at 64 Westgate Drive. I'm the neighbor to the north. I was there when the individual came out and took a look at it, and we did discuss it in length, you might say. And he said if we backed off the sidewalk that approximately 9 feet further into his property, basically he was okay with it, we were okay with it, and it will be hooked into my chain link fence out front that divides the property line. So I have no problem with it at all whatsoever. Any questions?
No? Did you give your address?
Yes, 64
Okay, I'm sorry.
Westgate Drive.
Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't hear. Any questions for this speaker? Is there anybody else who wants to speak in favor? Is there anyone who wants to speak in opposition to this application? Is there anyone who wants to talk to us about fences?
Well, I just have a quick question for the applicant. So the fence that's currently there now that's not permitted, that one's coming out and you're just putting the new one in, is that correct?
Yeah, that's the original chain link fence that the original 6-foot fence was attached to.
Okay, and that's being removed and then you're gonna put the other one?
Yes,
Okay,
that'll be removed, yes.
okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I have a quick thing. Kate Powers, LaBelle Associates. Since I'm writing the notes and I was not privy to the conversations up at the dais, would it be possible to just explain what is potentially being altered? Because if this is either approved or denied, I'm just going to say a 6-foot side yard fence. And if there's any other like conditions or if the fence is going to be set back, et cetera, I want to make sure to include those in the notes.
Yeah, let me see if I can explain this
great.
in words. The applicant is going to move the north end of the proposed fence that's on the application approximately 9 foot to the east. The other end of the application up by the patio will stay where it is. So he's just skewing the application, or the fence 9 foot on the north end.
Thank you.
You agree to that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any other comments, input? There being no other input, I'll close this hearing and call the next case, please.
Our next case is case number ZB 2023-08-03, request by Pam Bassett, acting as agent for Sarah DePeters for area variances to construct a 2-story detached garage exceeding maximum permitted height and lot coverage on premises 1306 Bay Shore Boulevard in an R2 residential district.
Good evening. Pat Bassett, Bassett Group. We're custom home builders with offices at 2680 West Ridge Road, Rochester, New York. I'm here this evening to represent Sarah DePeters.
All right, the public hearing's left open, so is he still sworn? I don't have my attorney here, so I don't know.
I didn't swear in at all, sir.
Pardon?
I did not swear in at all.
In that case, you need to raise your right hand. Is everything you're going to tell us the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you. Go ahead. Wait, before you start, can I ask why this was tabled from the last meeting?
The reason it was tabled was because you guys gave us a great idea, and that was to go home and not sit here till 11 or 12 o'clock at night, which we greatly appreciated the opportunity.
I wasn't here, so.
Yeah, Jim gave him
I was
the
already home.
opportunity. Jim gave him the opportunity if any case on the docket wanted to postpone it
okay.
to next month due to the
Okay.
influx of the 2 other cases.
All right, great.
And
I'm
we
sorry.
thank you for that courtesy. What we're here tonight for is kind of simple but unique. We have an old garage that's a 60s vintage garage that is in bad repair. Over the years, the road has risen above it to the point where it is negative pitch and all the road runoff goes right into the structure. Over the years, many things have been done to try to detour the water away, drainage ditches and culverts and all these different things. But the garage has taken its toll. And at this point, Sarah would like to remove the garage and build a new structure there. Saying that, the first thing we're going to do is raise it so it has some kind of a positive pitch, so it rolls into the road where it should, rather than the water roll into the structure. Saying that, that precipitated on page 2, if you have it. Do you have this sheet? Okay. On page 2, what happens is you have a height here from the second level down, which then raises this because we're going to be raising it 3.5 feet just to get above the road crest. So the water will run away from the structure. So that helped obviously precipitate the height variance. And the height variance, as you may or may not recall, is when your back is to the water, you're looking at 1306 Bayshore Road. So it would negatively affect, obviously, somebody that lives across the street, which there's nobody there. It's just a mammoth hill, of which Sarah owns part of it. So there's no negative effect to anybody that's on the other side of Bayshore, because there's no way they can build there. So the variance, in this particular drawing, you're seeing one level. If you look at the next level, that's actually where the main house is. So you have the ground level, which is where the water is. Then you have a walkout of the house, which is a basement, really. And then you have another level, which is your main level. And then you have another level, which is really the second story of the house. And then the garage. Try to make it as simple as possible. You know, this variance request, I believe, is kind of a quirk in the ordinance, because I don't believe you could really measure it correctly with your back to the water way down on the 4th level. So what really has precipitated this height variance is the garage being taken up tall enough so we can positively run the water away from the structure. Now, any questions on this, and then I'll go to the next variance. So this will be the height variance we're looking for. Good? Mr. Chairman?
Yes, all
Good,
right.
okay. The next, Sarah owns the house, which is about 1,300 square feet. It's not a huge house. The next 2 lots are vacant, which are also hers. And they have separate tax count numbers. And quite honestly, she probably pays more taxes on the property because of that. But she bought it that way and wants to preserve it that way. So theoretically, if she needed to, you know, when she wants to expand the house someday, because it's only 1,300 square feet, she would do it to the south of the land she already owns. So we went to New York State to see if we could buy, there's a little sliver of land that's underneath the water per se. And it was suggested by the town, maybe we take a shot at trying to buy it. Well, a year later, at around $13,000 in expense, the state came back with a number that was so ridiculous that we gasped for breath, and then went back to the town and said, we gave it a good try, but somebody that wants that kind of money for a little sliver of land that you can't get to unless you have a helicopter. We need to move on. And the building department agreed and said, well, just go get a area variance. And the difficulty is that the house is where it is, and the land next door is ours anyways. So we're not intruding on anybody. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
So just a quick question about the first structure. Is Sarah gonna rebuild a garage, or is she gonna, like, what's the structure she's gonna build? Is she gonna build a house there? Or?
No, Ryan, what we're trying to do is we're actually going to remove the garage, and we're going to build a structure that's going to have some storage with it. Because anybody that's on a waterfront knows that storage is really a necessity to put things away, water toys, kayaks, things of this nature. And 1,300 square feet, there's not much room to do that. So what we're trying to do is put the garage in and get us a little storage space at the same time. And it's going to be, I don't mind telling you that we're custom home builders, and this is going to be a beautiful structure. I'll be very proud to build it, and I think it'd be a great enhancement to the area. With the new sewers that just came in also, the town has been doing a lot to enhance the area, and I think little by little, that's exactly what's happening. Does that answer your question?
The new garage is going to have space above it.
Yes.
Strictly storage, not for,
No, it won't.
Any
Like
other
short-term
use?
rental or anything like that?
no,
Okay.
okay.
No. Strictly at this time, it's proposed as storage. That's the way we put the application in. If there's no further questions, I'm through on my end. It's up to you, up to you what you,
Does any of the board members have any other questions? Okay. Is there anybody who wants to speak in favor of this application? Is there anyone who wants to speak in opposition? Is there anyone who wants to speak to us about garages or fences? Chickens?
Or New York State, or should I open that one up?
Pardon?
I said, or New York State, or should I open that one up?
Let's not go there. All right, there being no further input, we'll close this hearing, move on to the next case.
thank you.
Our next case is case number ZB 2023-08-04, a request by Karen Allen for an area variance to install side yard fencing exceeding maximum permitted height on premises 186 Teakwood Drive in an R2 residential district.
Let's see, we got a notice that the applicant said that he could not be here tonight for this particular, is that the,
Yes, we did. We received an email today at 3:52 p.m.
So should we
I
table
lost my
that?
note. Wait a minute.
Here, I'll give you an extra one.
Pardon? No, there was a handwritten note attached to it.
Oh.
Did I give it to you? That's why I can't find it. Thank you. The applicant did say, called in to Donna Martello and did say that he would like the board to hear the case in his absence. Obviously, because it was supposed to be on the August meeting, then it was tabled to this meeting. I don't know what's the board's pleasure on this one. Do we know enough about it to even discuss it?
Yeah, I mean, it's just a fence, but I don't know if the rules are that the person has to be in attendance. Or somebody has to represent the applicant, or the applicant himself has to be, or herself has to be in attendance.
It's pretty straightforward. I feel uncomfortable acting on something without the applicant present, but I don't see anything unusual with it. If it's a board's pleasure, we'll continue.
I mean, I'd like to have the applicant here. I mean, that's just my thought. I mean, it is an easy application, but again, I just don't know what the actual ruling is. I believe you gotta have somebody here to present or to represent.
I hate to do this, but I suggest we table it. Can I get a motion to that effect?
A motion that we table.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, we'll just, Donna will, or, who's gonna be in tomorrow, do you know?
I'm unsure, but I am going to be sending notes. I'm going to be bringing these signs back, so I can also let them know
Would
that
you let
this
them
is
know that they
tabled.
need to contact the applicant, that we had to table it because of the board's concerns?
Sure. Yep.
We apologize for having to do that, but if they're not here, it's hard for us to take action. That being the case, next case?
Our next case, case number ZB 2023-09-01, request by Aryan Agai, acting as agent for Heidi Scorsone for area variances to maintain a front yard, in parentheses, lakefront fence, exceeding maximum permitted height and non-conforming fence type on premises 179 Lakefront in an R2 residential district.
Heidi Scorsone, 179 Lakefront.
Do you swear to tell the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. Go ahead.
I purchased a home 3 years ago. It had 4 sections of fence behind it. To the south side, there's a house directly behind the sliding glass doors of the house. The house on the south side, is basically their kitchen window is in my backyard. So there was a privacy fence that the previous owner put in, and I'm just getting a variance now for it. I guess they put the fence in, it was 4 sections without a variance. It is lakefront, so I don't have the backyard is considered the front yard.
So it's an existing fencing already?
Yes.
So there's an existing fence was put up without a permit.
Right.
Now, this has been going on for a while now. I remember seeing this before.
It has.
There was a time when part of the fence was taken down and some panels were put back up.
The fence, we did put 2 new sections on the back of it. That's how this whole thing became, and we took those down. I didn't realize I had to get a variance for the existing fence that was already there, the 4 sections that were up. So we took the new section that I put up down, which was an additional 2 panels. And now all the panels are down and I have a curtain, just waiting for approval, hopefully.
I don't know if we've ever approved an 8-foot fence, ever, though. That's my only concern.
I don't remember hearing that there was a fence there before, though, either. the
Do you have
first
the
time I've heard
survey
it.
map, the copy of the survey map that was previous to me buying it, and it's on the survey map? I have a copy of it if you don't.
Can you see that? Survey map.
And you can see how the house to the south is directly in the backyard of my sliding glass door. So I wouldn't be obstructing any view. I wouldn't go past where their house is. I think we sent you a smaller copy too. I don't know if you guys did receive it.
That was the fence there. I don't know what would step in there, but
Do you want to see it?
And there's a hot tub yard, that's the problem.
Thank you.
All right, so that's, the
And again, I didn't get the permit because I didn't install that fence.
so you're asking for a
A variance,
a variance for a high fence
6 foot.
plus a variance for a non-conforming type. Because in the front yard, our ordinance does not allow solid fences, and you want to put a solid fence up, solid vinyl?
Yeah, like I said, it's considered the front yard because I live on the water. And I did have a question for the board. How far do you have to be from the water to be considered a front yard still? It doesn't matter if
Doesn't
it's 2
matter.
miles or
As long as your lot extends out to the
water?
waterfront.
Okay,
That-
because I am quite a distance from the water, so that's why
Yeah,
I
you
was
are.
just curious.
It's a long ways, but it's
Yeah.
still,
So even somebody 5 miles away, if they back up to the water, that's considered their front yard, just out of curiosity? or-
it's a weird situation, but
Okay.
yes,
Okay,
yeah. Just the way the ordinances were adopted here in Arundecoit.
okay.
And that puts us in a precarious position because I can understand,
A little privacy.
if
in
I
the
own
backyard.
property, that would be my front yard too, but the lake would be the front yard and the street would be the backyard.
They told me I had 2 front yards, because I just went for the hot tub variance. That was there before I bought the house again.
Yeah.
And they said I had 2 front yards, no backyard. I don't know if that's true.
Yes,
Okay,
unfortunately.
yeah.
It's like that in the discussion about corner lots. Another unique situation. Does the board have any other questions?
Was the existing fence 8 foot also?
I thought it was 6 foot. Is that, does it say 8 foot on there?
Yeah,
You got
Yeah, whatever, it was, whatever the notes say. I thought it was 6 foot, but the posts probably go to 8 foot.
post.
Yeah, I haven't touched the existing fence, it was there.
Any other questions? All right, there being no other questions, we'll ask for public input. Is there anyone who wants to speak in favor of this application? Is there anyone who wants to speak in opposition? Please come to the podium.
Good afternoon, or good evening. I'm David Stabley. I live at 175 Lakefront, immediately to the west of the petitioner.
You're the immediately adjoining house?
I'm sorry?
The immediately adjoining house? Right next to it?
Right next door.
Okay.
Right next door. I'm going to hopefully give you a corrected version of the fence situation. The house was put up for sale a few years ago. The person that was taking care of that installed 2 6-foot fence panels before the actual sale. So when the petitioner bought the house, there were 2 6-foot panels. We didn't say anything about it. It's like, whatever. About a year maybe into, and excuse me, I'm a little anxiety, psych meds, whatever. About a year into it, a contractor came up and put in a 3rd 6-foot panel, a little off the ground. And I approached him. I said, "What are you doing?" He said, "Well, we're putting up a panel fence." I said, "Okay." Didn't say anything. So now there's 3 panels. None of them were ever applied for. The contractor comes back again with 2 more panels. I approached him and said, "What about your work permit?" "Oh, I have a permit." I said, "I don't see it anywhere here. I don't see any variance." "Oh, you'll have to call Heidi." I said, "I'm not calling Heidi. I'll go to the town." So we, as you mentioned, you're familiar, somewhat familiar with this. Panels went up, the panels went down. This is a non-conforming to our neighborhood. Lakefront, it's a neighborhood. Our kids play there, our neighbors, we share our yards. We don't panel ourselves in. I'm going to supply you, if I may. I have a petition from neighbors adjacent to and within 200 feet of her property that are against this variance. I also have a written response of my own and my wife's, and I have pictures. And if I may approach, I put some descriptions in the pictures. A petition of neighbors that are against as well. If you look at the pictures, you're going to see that it just does not conform with the neighborhood. We live in a beautiful place down there on Lakefront, and putting up a big 6-foot fence, which in some cases is almost 1.5 feet off the ground, so there you're at 7.5 feet almost. It looks like a trailer park. I've got beautiful gardens, and she's going to put up this trailer park vinyl fence that will just detract from the value of the houses and the nature of the area. And I know that view doesn't always fall or falls at all, but over 1/3 of my side view windows is blocked if that petition is approved. I can sit at the breakfast table, watch the sun come up. I won't be able to if that comes in. If I might also add, the petitioner has no investment in the neighborhood or the neighbors or the children that play there. This is just a means of profit. The hot tub was there when we moved in 5 or 6 years ago. The owner had back issues and used it a lot. When it was actually installed, I don't have that answer, but it has been there for some time.
Can you turn your mic on? Sorry.
I'm sorry. I recall the last time when we were discussing this fence, there was a question about whether it extended out into the right-of-way that runs along Lakefront.
It does not extend that far, no.
Pardon?
It does not extend to the right-of-way, the sidewalk that runs
Okay.
across. No, it does not extend that
Okay.
far.
Because there was some discussion about whether it did at one time. But
I also feel that the way the fence is built in that picture, you'll see a large gap between the fence and the ground. Our children play through there. I feel that that could be a hazard, a tripping hazard. It is a throughfare, a deeded throughfare for my son-in-law and his daughter who live directly behind us. They own the driveway and have deeded rights to the beach to come through where she wants to put that fence up.
So I'm looking at this one picture here that you provided. It looks like there's a fence on the other side. How tall is that fence?
That fence is probably a 6-foot fence that was pre-existing between the two owners. They both had dogs. So
Okay.
both owners agreed to have that one fence put up so that they weren't barking and
Okay.
they wouldn't have to look at each other's dog poop.
Okay.
Which picture are you looking at there?
Oh, he's talking about this.
Yeah, I see the background. Okay. That's an open fence, so it would be allowed to. Do you see these? Sure, we have all of them.
If I might also add, you'll notice I did change the case numbers on those because they were from the original application,
Yep.
but everything still stands as is.
You were saying the original owner had the hot tub and he had 2 panels up?
No, there were no panels up at all.
No panels?
No, not until the house went up for sale, and then the gentleman in charge of fixing the house up, preparing it for sale, put the original 2 panels up. I didn't complain about that. You know, it gave him some hot tub privacy. I was fine. It's when they came in and started bang, bang, bang down the yard. I'm like, it's disgusting. It just looks awful.
And that was 2 vinyl sections, 8 foot high?
The 2 vinyl sections originally put in before the house was actually sold. I don't know the height. They're regular 6-foot panels, I guess, whether
Just
they were
6 foot.
7
They
foot
went
or
right
8
to the
foot.
ground.
But they're the standard vinyl panels, yes.
Went right to the ground. Because these are,
No, they
One
went,
post?
yes, they did go to those 2 went to the ground because there was a step up to the concrete slab that she has.
because the way, it's being explained is 8 foot high, but the panels are 6 foot, but there's space underneath it, right, 2 feet.
Right, as you
Basically.
get out the more you go out, the ground dips down.
Yep.
So to keep the panels level up here, you need space at the bottom, as that one picture reflects.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Is there anybody else want to speak in opposition? Does anyone want to talk about fences? We do a lot of that. All right, that being the case, if no one else wants to speak, I want to give the applicant a chance to rebuttal.
You're welcome to keep those. Thank you.
Can we keep the petition?
Yes, absolutely.
So I think there were 3 panels when I bought it, but it shows on the survey how many panels, if you want to take a look at it again. But what I'm requesting is just to put those panels back up to give a little privacy in the patio. They didn't have a problem with it, like they said beforehand, when the previous people put it in before I bought it. So I'm just requesting to put those panels back to give a little privacy in the backyard. That's all. And the fence on the other side was pre-existing there or when I bought it, there was a fence on the other side that the previous owner did put in. It's the same size fence and the same length. Apparently, he has a fence there and he's allowed to have it. It does border my property. Like I said, I like the privacy, so I've never complained about it. But it's the same that I'm asking for on the other side of the fence. The neighbors, and when he did mention a right-of-way between, I've checked with the town, I've checked with the survey, and on the survey map you'll see that there's no right-of-way between the 2 houses. I was told that when I bought it by the neighbors, but I've checked with my attorney, I've checked with everybody, there's no right-of-way between the 2 houses.
No, it's the right-of-way I'm speaking of runs east and west on the lakeside
Oh, yeah, but he mentioned a right-of-way between the south house, his house and my house, between the two houses. He mentioned there was a right-of-way where I want to put the fence. But from all my digging and even the survey and the title company, they could not find any right-of-way.
Okay.
So I just want to clarify that that wasn't the case. Okay, thank you for your time. Any questions? I'm sorry.
The fence on the other side is a 6-foot fence, though, correct?
Same size panel, same height.
Yeah.
So the panels are 6 feet, the posts are probably 8 feet.
Yeah, because from where I'm coming, I mean, I would just, I would vote for like that the panels are close to the ground and it's a 6-foot high fence because that's what is consistent with what the other side is. As far as like having them 1.5 feet off the ground and having it 8 feet, that's not something I'm in support of.
And
so.
I'd be fine with that. Right to the ground, we'd move them down.
You, the fence on the other side appears to be conforming in the sense that it's an open fence. It's like a picket fence rather than a solid vinyl fence.
No, it's a solid fence. It's the exact same fence.
Pardon?
It's a solid
Is
fence.
it a solid
Yeah.
fence? The pictures
It is a
kind of
solid
indicate
fence.
it's not.
It's the exact same vinyl fence.
Do you know if that was, we should find out if that was properly permitted or variances granted. Okay. And you don't want an open picket type fence?
We were just hoping for some privacy, just for a couple sections to get in on.
So it's for privacy.
We do use the house for family members.
How many panels in total were you talking going?
To put in, or to leave in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, let me just look at the survey to see how many they had. I don't know if I'll be able to tell. 2. It looks like 3 panels and 4 posts.
Well, because one of the pictures we're looking at, there's 2 panels up, and then there's 3 other posts. That would give you 5 panels. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
We cut some of those posts down. Like I said, the new ones we put in a couple. So we just cut the posts and took the panels down.
You're looking just-
So I don't know when he took that picture. It was probably an older
This is
picture.
something that was been here, so I don't.
Yeah, it's probably an older picture. We cut down the posts that I did install without a permit.
So it would be like 3 posts, because I think that all you would need would be just to cover the hot tub or whatever. I don't think you need anything more than that. I mean, and that's what you would have like 3 posts, right? And then how many?
It looks like 3 sections of fence and 4 posts, because you need one on the beginning and one at the end to secure it. And if I can show you the survey, it goes right to the end of the hot tub. On the survey would.
Yeah, I mean, I would be okay with just completing it toward the end of the hot tub, and then that's it. 6 foot at the ground. That's it.
So does that change?
Any other questions?
I'm good.
Or is that? Are you all set?
All set. Thank you very much for your time.
There being no other input, we'll close the hearing and call the next case.
Our next case is case number ZB 2023-09-2, a request by Barbara and Larry Greenfield for an area variance to install front yard fencing exceeding maximum permitted height and linear footage on premises 33 Coronado Drive in an R1 residential district.
Good evening. I'm Barbara Greenfield, and I live at 33 Coronado Drive. And I am request.
Excuse me,
I'm-
you
Oh,
too.
sorry.
you swear to tell the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
I am requesting a variance to install a 4-foot black decorative aluminum fence to fence in a portion of my front yard. So it would be a 6-inch height variance and a 113-inch linear foot variance. I have talked to all of my immediate neighbors on the sides and across the street, and none of them have any issue with this fence. So I hope you will consider my application.
Any questions from the board?
Yeah, I drove by the other day and I noticed, how far, like, because it looked like it was you're not planning on taking out like any of your gardens, right? Like, okay, so it just seemed like it was a little close to the sidewalk and the garden.
There's no problem with being 3 feet in from the sidewalk.
Okay,
I understand that is it is,
okay,
yeah,
No, it's going to be a 3-foot setback from the property line,
yes.
and the sidewalk is actually 5 feet into the right-of-way. So
okay, so there wouldn't be any
Like an
issues
8 foot.
with plows, so like sidewalk plows or anything like that?
Right,
Okay.
no.
shouldn't be.
And it just goes to the ends of my house. It doesn't go even all the way to the driveway and not anywhere near the property line on the east side of the house.
Any other questions from the board? So anyone who wants to speak in favor of this application, please come to the podium.
Good evening. Do I need to swear?
No,
Okay.
no. Only the
So
applicants.
I am Sarah Culp. I live at 33 Coronado, she's 33. I live at 74 Coronado Drive. But I also need to say that I am the applicant's daughter. And so I know a lot of the neighbors as well. I've watched how much work she's put into this property in the 11 and a half years that she's owned it. I mean, it is a beautiful piece of property. She's spent, hundreds and thousands of dollars on the landscaping. And as I watch, I'm fortunate enough to be on the side where there's not sidewalks, so I don't have dogs that are on my property. But when people are walking their dogs, they're often on the landscape, which would be very expensive to replace. And so this would just be something to help protect the investment that she's made.
Comments? Thank you. Anybody else speak in favor? Is there anyone who wants to speak in opposition? Do we want anyone to talk about fences? I'd like to talk about fences. I want to raise it to 4 foot. There being no other public input, I hereby close the hearing. Move on to the next case.
Our next case is case number ZB 2023-09-3, request by Kathleen Steinchen for an area variance to install side yard fencing exceeding maximum permitted height on premises 108 Spruce Lane in an R1 residential district.
Isn't it funny how they're all similar cases?
Good evening. I'm Kathleen Steinchen, and I live at 108 Spruce Lane in Arundecoit. And
You swear to tell the whole truth and nothing
Whole
but the truth?
the whole truth and only the truth.
Thank you.
I did talk to my neighbors who are to the right and the left of our house, and they are both are non-oppositional to and in agreement with what I would like to do. As you're facing the house on the right side, I want to put in a 6-foot gate that would be level or the same distance from the front yard as the neighbor's privacy fence is. So it would look like a continuation, yet it would not abut, it would not be attached to their fence. And that would be at the front of our property, or the front of our house. That's to allow us to have access to the backyard with any kind of materials we wanted to bring in for gardens. And it would also allow me to develop the garden on that side of the house and let my dogs be with me rather than barking at and clawing to get to where I am. On the other side of the house, we had a row of shrubs that were horrendous, that went up the property line from the sidewalk to the chain link fence that encloses the backyard. I took that down, had it removed, but what has happened is that there is the neighbor's bedroom window faces our house. We have motion detector lights there, and her living room window is opens to that side. So what we would like to do is put a wooden privacy fence that would be the 6-foot wooden privacy fence between our two properties. It would be open so that you could get in and out of the back, yards, and it would be 36 feet in from the sidewalk. It would start and it would run to the chain link fence. In front of that, we have a berm that we are in the process of building, and that would, add to the landscaping for both of our properties. Very straightforward.
The fence you're proposing is going to be wooden to match the one on the other side, or similar to it?
Yes, our fencing, yes.
Yes.
The gate will be a solid wooden fence with black latches and, appliances.
Any other questions or comments from the board? There being none, is there anyone who wants to speak in favor of the application? Please come to the podium.
My name is Klaus Steinchen. I'm a husband. I also live on 108. We are merely enhancing the area. The gate we're requesting on the right side of our house will be allow us to have a tiny 14-foot sailboat we'll put in the backyard, and we make sure that we are merely completing the picture. At this point, it looks like a picture frame where two pieces are missing, and we are putting the pictures back. When we remove the shrub, this ugly wild growth, undisciplined, unkempt for. We bought the property 3 years ago. It deprived our neighbors of their privacy. They have two windows, bedroom and living room windows. So we, partially of their request, we merely give them their privacy back incomplete a picture of this house we bought 3 years ago. We put a new roof, new siding, new garage doors on. I'm sure we love living here. And I like the idea that we had to request any modification or any changes, because it maintains the beautiful picture of this part of the area we live on Spruce Lane. It's what we microsized coming. We became finally grandparents and microsized from a two-story brick house, swimming pool, hot tub and all, in this micro little house. We are still moving in, and we are merely enhancing the area. And I hope you consent to our request. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other people in favor? Does anyone want to speak in opposition? Does anyone want to talk about fences or shrubs, hedgerows? There being none, we'll close the hearing and call the next case.
Our next case, case number ZB 2023-09-4. This is a request by Tanya Foster for an area variance to reconstruct an existing front porch with a less than required front setback on premises 516 Seneca Road in an R3 residential district.
Hello, my name is Tanya Foster, 516 Seneca Road.
Do you swear and affirm that anything you say will be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. Proceed.
Okay, so I'm assuming you all have received the packet.
Yep.
Multiple, and has anybody gone to the neighborhood? Okay.
No.
So, as you can see in the packet, I had pretty extensive damage to my house. The picture's worth 1,000 words. And it destroyed you can see in the picture there's an atrium. It destroyed it, which isn't a bad thing. I hated it. And all I want to do is rebuild that front of my house instead of an atrium to a porch, or well, a 3-season room, and double the size. And currently, I believe I have a 30-foot setback. And the atrium is 32 feet from the road. The end of the atrium is 32 feet from the road. And if I double it, it's in size, it's 24 feet from the road. And I had the town inspector, John Nitti, come to my property because I didn't know what to do about doubling the size. So he called Donna, and they looked at my survey map and said I do need a variance. But the town inspector, when he looked at my neighbors, which I included pictures of, they're a lot closer to the road already. So he pointed out that by doubling the size, I would just be as close to the road as the property across the street and the property next to me, which I went on Google Maps and I took pictures and I included it. So if you want me to go over those pictures, I can do that.
I think we're good. Is there anything else?
Yes, I had 3 neighbors that received the card in the mail about this meeting, and they could not attend, and I asked them to write their opinion on their cards, and I have 3 cards, and I don't know if I should hand them in.
Why don't you give them to us, we'll read them into the record.
But they're all in favor, basically.
You want to look
I
at them, or you want me to
suspected
just send them in?
Pardon?
Okay.
All right. right, are you all set then?
Yeah, unless you have questions.
While we're looking at those cards, is there anyone who wants to speak in favor of this application? Anyone who wants to speak in opposition to this application?
Yeah. it's just for one.
Anybody wants to talk about anything else related to the application? If not, let me get these on the record. All right, we have basically petitions from, I can't read their names here.
The address is the address of the
Yeah, 117 Arundel, I can't read the name.
Scatlin.
From Ron and Molly Hess at 535 Seneca Road. And 110 Arenda Drive. Again, I can't. Looks like Scanlon?
Do you want me to, I can come up
Yeah,
and look?
maybe you could read them, Mike.
This is Jean Scatlin at 110 Orienda.
All right, Gene Scanlon and 110 Arenda.
And you've got Molly and Ron Hess
I got
at
down.
535. And this one is Caleb, I don't know his last name,
Okay.
but 117 Orienda.
Okay. All right. Do you want these back?
No, I didn't know,
We'll
It-
we'll put them in the for the
If it'll
file
help.
record. There being no other public input, we'll close the hearing. And we have one more case to consider.
The chair noted this at the beginning, but I'll just put it into the record. That case number ZB 2023-08-01, a use variance for 41 Coldbrook Drive has been tabled to the October meeting.
Okay. If there's anybody that was here to talk about that, we're sorry you had to hang around, but that concludes our public hearings for tonight. The board want to take a 5-minute recess, or you want to? All right, we'll take let's make it a 10-minute recess and come back at 8:20. Meeting back to order. Is the applicant for 46 Westgate still here? No, okay. How about 1306 Bayshore Boulevard? Okay. 186 Teakwood? Pardon? Bayshore Boulevard? Yes, I got you. We'll get you in a minute. Teakwood's the one that called in. 179 Lakefront, she left. 33 Coronado. We'll take you guys, 108 Spruce and 516 Seneca Road. Okay. All right. In the order of the agenda, we'll call. The first one is 1306 Bayshore Boulevard, case CB 2023-8-3. Does anyone want to make a motion?
Yeah, I'll make a motion that we grant the variance as requested by the applicant based on the following findings and facts. Character of the neighborhood, there are we have approved several enhancements to the neighborhood character in that area on Bayshore Boulevard. So it wouldn't be uncommon to the area to approve this type of request. Alternative solutions, the applicant's representative talked to the state for one of the variances, the state to try and purchase the land on the second variance, in which case the state came back and stated a price which was sounded astronomical to purchase that particular plot of land. And then regarding the water seeping into the garage, it's kind of an undue hardship just based on the living on a lake, on a hill on the lake, whereas the water is coming into the garage just due to deterioration of the hill. It's not a substantial request. It's not going to impact any neighbors adjacent or behind. Not going to really change the character of the neighborhood. The applicant is just looking to improve their property. It is self-created. However, that doesn't preclude the ability to grant the request. And with those, I suggest that we grant the request of the applicant.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Oh,
Is there any
forgot to
discussion?
mention, this is a type 2 action for seeker purposes. I'm sorry, everybody said aye?
Yeah, yes.
So we got 4 voting in favor. We got 3 absences. And no
Abstentions.
abstentions, sorry.
Do we have one person, not, on the board? Do we have
Yeah, we have
6?
Yeah, we have 1 vacancy.
You got
Okay.
2 absent and
Yeah,
1 vacancy.
2 absences,
Yeah, that's
1
right.
vacancy.
2 absent and 1 vacant. He doesn't have vacancies down here, though. Okay. So the application was approved.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. All right, second one to be considered tonight is, stuck to the paper, 33 Coronado Drive.
I'll make a motion that we accept the application as presented. It's going to be a little bit of a change to the neighborhood with having, not a lot of people have the fences out there. It's not a substantial request. I mean, it's going to be open, and it's going to be, aluminum. It's going to be a nice-looking fence. I don't think I have any physical or environmental changes to the neighborhood. Is it self-created? In a way, yes, but then again, you want to preserve what you've done with the property. So again, I think we should approve this application as presented.
Second?
I'll second it.
Before we vote, again, I forgot to state that this is a type 2 action for seeker purposes. So, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Again, it's 4 in favor, 2 absent, 0 abstentions, and 1 vacancy. You all set?
Thank you very much.
Next application to be considered is 108 Spruce Lane. You people don't need to come up to the podium. Yeah, sit down, relax. I'm sorry, I should have told you that too.
I'll make a motion that we grant this request. If I can just find where I put the paperwork. I could do it without it, but I want to just make sure. Is this Spruce Lane or Seneca Road? I'm sorry.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. So I will make a request that we grant the application from the applicant based on the following findings of fact: neighborhood character, tons of fences, 6 foot in the town of Arundecoid, so it would be consistent with her neighbors and their neighbors. Alternative solutions. They did take out a bush or a berm or some type of shrubbery that was dilapidated, and so, like good neighbors, they spoke to their neighbors and they agreed to add a fence to help with privacy. It's not a substantial request. Like I said, we've granted several 6-foot fences in the town. It's not going to pose any environmental impacts to the town. It's going to help with storage and putting some of their lawn equipment and recreational equipment behind the fence and behind the house. And it is self-created, but it's going to add to the character of the neighborhood and help to complete that puzzle that they're looking for.
I'll second it.
Again, I forgot to mention, this is a type 2 action for seeker purposes. I think I'm supposed to say that before we vote. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Any opposed? Again, 4 in favor, 0 against, 2 absences, 0 abstentions, and 1 vacancy. So it's passed, you're all set.
May I say something, sir?
Sure.
We are new in this area, and by next year, I'm going to complete 90 years of my life. I have lived in different countries and different places, and never before have I experienced the efficiency and the friendliness which we have experienced in this new town. We now members of in your office for applying, and what took place here tonight. I mean, we consider ourselves very, very fortunate to live here.
Well, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for being residents.
I was going to say, I think Arundicoid's fortunate to have you here living with it. But that's one of the reasons why we like,
And we have 2 little grandchildren. Makes up for any inconvenience.
yes. Thank you. Next case to be discussed is 16 Seneca Road, or 516 Seneca Road. Again, this is a type 2 action for seeker purposes. Does anyone want to make a motion?
I'll make the motion that we grant the request. And from the start, grant the request from the applicant. From the start, the complete situation is not self-created. Unfortunately, a tree landed on her house, the applicant's house, putting it in major disrepair. As far as an environmental impact or and a substantial request, the applicant stated that it would be, although, you know, if we granted the variance, it would be, you know, she'd be asking for a 6-foot variance from the code. However, it would be consistent with several of the other houses on her street on Seneca Road. It's not a substantial request. As far as alternative solutions, would be not to do it, but again, she is consistent with what her neighbors are currently at right now. It's not going to change the character of the neighborhood. I drove over. In fact, we've had several properties on Seneca Road over the last couple of months, and I was completely shocked to see how much damage there was, because we had done, on this board, we had done several variances in that neighborhood, and I was shocked. So, if anything, it would improve the character of the neighborhood and allow the applicant to enjoy their 3-season room or whatever they want to put on it. And with those findings of fact, I request that we grant the request from the applicant.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Again, 4 in favor, and none opposed, 2 absent, nobody abstained, and there's 1 vacancy, and the applicant's, variance is granted. They do the other ones. All right, going back to the head of the agenda.
I hope everything comes out okay for you. There was a lot of damage, and I hope it comes to your expectations, whatever gets approved.
Thank you, I should have made a statement that if you don't have replacement insurance on your homeowners, you should go get it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because that's making all the difference, because it's just, it's been fantastic to have good insurance.
Thanks for the idea.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You said replacement insurance? Because I got like 20 Widowmakers like next to me that are not on my property.
Oh, those are fun.
And yeah, so I know. I mean, I live next to somebody who unfortunately just, for whatever reason, doesn't. Great person, but they have different priorities than I do, I guess. But so that's what I always wondered about trees falling on properties and damaging things. So
Well, good, so you have to, in your policy, you have to make sure that's covered. It's called, I think it's called wind damage, something, whatever wind damage caused it. But I've had this house for 23 years, and I always hoped I had good insurance, but until you need it and you see down to the fine line what every coverage you have to, I had replacement insurance, and also you want code enforcement insurance. For example, that roof that I had that's damaged, and I'm thankful it's gonna be gone, I hated it, it was not to code. So the roof that's gonna be rebuilt has to be built to code, and that's an extra bucket of money on your insurance in the code enforcement bucket.
Oh.
So, if you have something that's not to code and it gets destroyed, you have to bring it up to code whether you want to or not, because the town won't approve it. So if you have that code enforcement bucket, then that's just more money. So I should have said it, but I didn't want to.
no worries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, 46 Westgate, we tabled that. I can't recall, did you second the motion? The table?
No, we didn't table 46
No, we didn't table. I
Westgate.
think they
That was
left,
the
right?
fence.
Did they,
Pardon?
They leave,
Yeah.
or-
No, we didn't table 46. We talked about
Tabled
it.
186.
Yeah, Teakwood.
Oh, I'm sorry. All right,
Yeah.
so 80, now I'm confused. 86 Westgate,
No,
46.
46 Westgate.
46 Westgate. I'm just tired. All right, do we have a motion? Can't even find the file.
This is the, oh,
This is, all right, I'm sorry, this is the one that Jim had met out with the
Conditional one?
applicant.
the conditional one?
Pardon?
Conditional, it's conditioned on the 9-foot,
Yeah, it's conditional with him accepting the moving the north end of the fence 9 feet to the east,
east.
as agreed upon. Yeah, all right, if nobody else will, I'll make a motion that we approve the application with the condition that the fence, the north end of the fence is moved approximately 9 feet to the east. Where's my cheat sheet for? All right, I don't believe that installing that fence is going to create an undesirable change in the character of the neighborhood. Obviously, the other alternative is to not put the fence in, but that defeats the purpose of putting up the fence. The variance is not substantial. I don't believe it'll cause an adverse physical or environmental impact. Obviously, it's self-created because he wants to put a fence up, but it should not preclude our approving it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? And again, for seeker purposes, this is a type 2 action. All right, let me, hang on, bear with me just a second. Okay. Now, 186 Teakwood, we tabled that. Who seconded it?
I believe I did.
Okay, that's,
And if I didn't, I'll second it now.
Somebody seconded, I just couldn't remember who. 2, 3, 4. Tabled. All right. And then the last one to consider, 179 Lakefront. Do we have a motion? Wait, before I do that. Again, this is a type 2 action for seeker purposes. Do I have a motion?
Brad, do we have the map layout that she gave us?
The big one?
Yeah.
No, I think she took that
She
back.
took it back?
Yeah, I don't have it.
Okay. Because ours is so small, I couldn't make.
It's hard to read, yeah.
I mean, it seemed like she was open to, I would be open to granting the 6 foot from like what it was when she bought the property and the neighbor didn't say anything when they put up those fences, or no, those slats or those, I can't think of the right word, but yeah, like it seemed like the neighbor was fine with that. But then, like, to me, I think that they got to be on the ground, and they can't go past the hot tub.
So that was the 3 panels, 4 posts, right?
Yeah, I believe. I'd like to make sure we have that correct. But whatever the number is, but can't go past the hot tub. It's got to be on the ground, and it's got to be 6 foot high. Can't be like 6 foot at the level, because I mean nobody else has that. And it doesn't look great either. I mean the shower curtain doesn't look great either. But I think that's what I would. I mean she's asking for 8 foot requests, but that's what I would vote for. Anything else, I don't know if I would vote for it.
So we're talking 24 feet of fence, 6 foot high from the ground up, not 2 foot above with 8 foot posts, because that's what she had. She had 8 foot posts, but the 6 foot vinyl was in there, 2 foot space underneath.
Yeah, I mean, if she has 8 foot posts, then they gotta chop them. Like, it's gotta be 6 feet. I mean, we can't be approved. I mean, unless it's like a, like a health thing, like
I thought at one point she was agreeable to that.
Yeah, I think she was. Yeah, I think she was. Because she cut out the other ones that were installed illegally or whatever. So that's what I would vote for.
Just a limit on the length. How many panels?
Don't know. Hard to tell.
Does anybody want to second that?
Was Ryan? I don't know.
You want me to? I mean, I can formalize it. I didn't know. I don't know the exact math of it. I mean, I'll do it, but I might need some help with the math or whatever of it. But I vote that I'll make a motion that we approve the request, or that we approve the following, not necessarily the request, but that we approve the following application. That we will approve a 6 foot fence with, what did you say, Cecil? Did you say 3 panels and 4 posts?
I believe that's what was existing before, that's what she mentioned. 4
Okay.
panels and 4 posts.
But so 3 panels, 4 posts at the 6-foot level.
Can
Go
I throw,
Go ahead.
no, were they 6-foot long panels or 4 foot? Anybody remember?
I don't know if they were 8s.
Pardon?
Usually they're 8-foot panels, aren't they, usually?
So 3 8-foot panels is 24 feet.
This is, to me,
Yeah, if it's 8 foot high, it looks like it's almost 8 foot long, wide.
I don't know. That's why I was trying to see the tape map, because I think that one had little better spots. for
Had the
the,
dimensions
posts,
on it, yeah.
You know, so you can count it.
Yeah, she shows 4 posts, but the only thing I'm concerned about is the width of how wide the panels would be.
Oh, I see. 4 panels.
So 4 posts would be 3 panels.
Versus 24.
Well, yeah, whatever's smaller,
Pardon?
whatever's smaller, that's what we should grant,
Yeah.
not exceeding the hot tub.
Because it's hard to tell, because there's no, there's nothing saying how wide that concrete is,
Yeah.
you know? And that could be 8 feet.
Let's see, this is 26. Can I make a suggestion? Can I take a cop out on this? That we table this and ask the applicant to provide us with that full-scale survey map?
Yeah, I wish you wouldn't have left.
Yeah, I agree. I think we don't have enough information, you know,
It might be 6-foot panels.
yeah, because it might be,
I can't
'Cause
tell.
the only thing I'm worried about is there's 3 8-foot panels is 24 feet, 3 6-foot panels is 18 feet. And
If we say 24, that extends it.
yeah,
Yeah, that's fine with me.
all right. We get a motion to table.
I'll make a motion to table the application until next month, asking for specific length of,
If we can just ask the applicant to provide us with the, that full-scale survey map that she had. And then at the next meeting, we can
just say
sit
not to
down and talk
exceed
about
30
it,
foot.
Yeah.
That's what she asked for,
figure it out.
How much?
30, right? I just found it over here that she was writing a letter and said she wanted 30. Right, that's first page right here. So it was 30 foot long. So
who has to, does somebody have to
30.
second that?
I'll second it.
I'll
Okay.
second it, yeah.
All those in, okay.
So what was it, Travis, and then Lou seconded? All right, did I cover all of them?
Is it, did it get second by Cecil?
Yes, or,
Mel, he was bringing up something that she's got in here from the original, one of the letters. 8-foot tall, 30-foot long,
Yeah.
which was, we weren't even talking about that length.
That's, I think that's too long, yeah.
Yeah, no, and she agreed to having it shorter, we just have to figure out,
what that means. and
Yeah.
What the, exact length that is.
Okay.
All right, so I got
We didn't vote on it.
1,
We just got to vote on it, that's all.
yeah, I think we
Six
just gotta
plus.
vote on the table.
pardon?
I think we have to vote,
Vote on the
I
table,
made a
item.
motion to table
Right.
it, you seconded it, I
Yeah,
think we
all
have
in
to
favor of
vote.
tabling?
Aye.
Aye.
Right?
Opposed? It's tabled.
Like I say, you got to give her some kind of a note, just let us know the width of the panels.
Yeah, if she hung around, it would help. All right, 1, 2, 3.
So you got 2 tabled items? three tables. So
Did we cover everything?
everything else is done.
In that case, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Stay here. All right, football game's on.